Hbar holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. As you guys can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about daily update on Hbar, understanding what's happening, and of course, what we could be expecting going into Sunday morning. So again, if you're enjoying these daily updates, I do want you guys to, of course, smash that like button, hit that red subscribe button, as it does go a long way. But looking across the board, you're starting to see the market slowly but surely, start heading back towards the downside. Even though, Friday was quite a great day for the markets. But I stated to you guys before, especially if you watched my updates yesterday, I said even though we're going into the weekend on a positive note, let's not get our hopes up too high, because as far as uncertainty is concerned, it's still quite high, especially as far as the way the equity market closed. And I think leading into Monday, the uncertainty is not going to go anywhere, and you're starting to see the market actually reacting to that specifically right now. So as far as Hbar is concerned, you're looking at Hbar's price down 2.5%, with the price currently sitting below 16 cents, 15.8 cents to be exact. Also down 2% in Bitcoin comparative. Market cap at $6.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about $100 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So we're going to start off by taking a look at the dominance index. You guys can see this for yourself. This right here is the hourly time frame for the dominance itself. We spoke about how the dominance had been pulling down, and we actually saw the dominance going down to 62.7% literally yesterday. But look at it, pretty much picking up where it left off. So exactly what we spoke about is happening, and the fact that the dominance did go up over the last 24 hours has a clear impact on the altcoin market. As you can see across the board, we're seeing once again majority of the market down. And if you're looking at BTC right now, it's still ranging, believe it or not, in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, which of course yet again is quite interesting to see, because pretty much I would say since breaking above back on March the 12th, we have seen several wicks below, but pretty much the 38.2 has held as a significant amount of support for us, which again is something that we shouldn't really be forgetting. And especially the fact that over the weekends we do tend to see more manipulation due to CME futures being closed. You're still seeing Bitcoin holding within this range, which again is nice to see. But we'll see what happens with Bitcoin tomorrow. Obviously, if we lose the support potential of us retesting 81k, potentially even below, and start retesting some of these levels that we haven't seen since March 10th, could be on the table. And I still do believe, obviously, if we're below the 38.2, those are some realistic things to be looking out for. But anyhow, if you're looking at Hbar's price right now, Hbar's price is still, even though we are seeing downside below 16 cents, we're still above this major key support line. I want you guys to really take a look at Hbar on the hourly time frame, because it makes you understand everything on a proper scale. And you can see this for yourself. We have not yet even retested this key support line. Of course, we retested below it just 3 days back, but as of now, we're still ranging above this key support line. I've been seeing a lot of bearish comments coming in right now for Hbar. A lot of people are expecting 5 cents to come again. A lot of people, believe it or not, I've been reading these comments, because again, uncertainty is quite high, and of course when there's not a lot of excitement, people tend to talk a lot of bearish price action. And again, if you want to put this into perspective, let's actually talk about that. What would it require for the price of Hbar to fall down to 5 cents, pretty much where it started off before breaking out to these explosive moves? Obviously, this would be the most bearish scenario. Of course, this kind of takes it back to the bear market cycle if this were to happen. Remember, this being in the being in the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level, we are obviously out of the bear market cycle. But if you drop below this key support line, we are back in the bear market cycle. And of course, that's not something that you want to see. But 5 cents, I really want to kind of emphasize on this. In order for Hbar to reach 5 cents, of course, that would require, give or take, BTC to see a 50% pullback from where it currently is, like give or take 50 to even 45%. And let's actually take a look at it. What would that require? So let's just say 45%, that would put Bitcoin at $45,000. And again, like I said, major pullback. But with that being said, we have seen similar types of moves in the previous bull market. Where you do see Bitcoin see major swings like this before heading towards all-time highs. Are we about to see that happening? Again, some external factors do impact, and again, if history were to repeat itself, you never know. But of course, the demand factor this time around is completely different. So that would be the major catalyst behind your HBAR falling down to this level. Do I see that happening? I think the chances of that are quite slim. That will require a major drop in Bitcoin. I do personally think Bitcoin does have more downside, of course, if it were to drop below the 76, potentially dropping below the major key support line at 73.4. But I think this is quite a stretch, but you never know what can happen in the space, especially if some external factors can cause that. Those are things that are over our control. At the end of the day, patience is your number one key to follow. But I'm still liking the way HBAR is currently holding. It's kind of replicating the previous cycle retracement. You guys can see we retested the 78.6. I'm sorry, the 23.6 fib zone, retested right at that neckline and saw a major bounce towards all-time highs. Are we about to see something similar happening? We'll see, of course. But I'll keep you guys covered. Let me know down below what you guys think. Love you all. See you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.